So, are you ready, Andy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. The clock is dripping with blood.
Hit her! Hit it!
For myself, I have seen the dark shadows moving in the woods, and I have no doubt that whatever I have resurrected through this book is sure to come calling for me.
You talking to me?
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
Now, funny how? I mean, funny like a clown and you.
I'm Peter Binkman. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Damn!
I'm kind of a big deal.
First rule of my club is do not talk about my club.
Yeah, baby!
Baby voice.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Well, at least your levels are coming through strong today. How are you feeling today, Andy?
I'm feeling good. Tired, but good. How are you?
Oh, I'm tired but good. It's funny.
Hey!
Yeah, tired but good. Yeah. It spring's around the corner. What more could we ask for? I mean,
Yeah, there's a slight feeling of optimism in the air, isn't there?
I won't go that
There's
far.
not really,
I
is
wouldn't
there?
go that far. That's you know.
Everything's awful. The world's ending.
Yeah, the world is ending, and nothing's in our control. But yeah, it's been a few weeks since we've done a podcast. Last one was, of course, our Die Hard Crocodile Dundee doubleheader.
Yeah.
And and this week we're going to be talking about the Evil Dead series because we haven't done it yet.
Surprisingly, we haven't, and this came about, didn't it? Because you sent me a clip of some game that you was an online game you were playing.
It
and
is,
you were playing,
yeah.
And you were playing it as Ash, the character Ash. And I was like, oh, this really makes me want to talk about Evil Dead. So,
did it make you want to play the game? I mean, playing as Ash is quite an interesting, it's quite fun.
Is it? What's the game again?
It's actually Fortnite, of all things. It's that one game that every single teacher hates, every parent rants on about, and it's the kind of thing you think, well, I don't want to touch that with a barge pole. I don't want to know. And for about 6 years now, I've just like, don't want to know. It sounds stupid. It sounds like a kiddie thing, but kids shouldn't be playing it. It's definitely not. It's actually a very competitive game. It's a lot of fun, and it's more sci-fi than anything else that's out there. It's
oh wow, it's a totally your thing.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, I used to play Star Trek Voyager Elite Forces Hollow Match, and we used to do tournaments years ago, back in 2009, 2010. And I'm not a gamer. I don't do gaming. I mean, it really isn't my thing. But just to kind of wind down the hours, it's fantastic. Just to get in there with some people that you're friends with, and just run around doing stupid things.
Wow.
What more can you ask for? Because you're not a gamer either at all.
No, not at all. No.
That's why I've never bothered you with this ever.
I occasionally play that game that you get in your phone where you chop up fruit. What's that?
The chop up fruit game. Yes.
Yeah, the chop up fruit.
Speaking of chopping up, though, we're going to talk about the Evil Dead.
What a segue.
Yeah.
Professional podcasting, Stephen Radford.
That's how it's done.
I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
I don't care what happens to her. She's your girlfriend. You take care of her.
How did you discover the Evil Dead? What was your origin story for this franchise?
So I think this might be similar to you, but when I was at college, I got obsessed to find the most goriest films I could. And at that time, Evil Dead was banned. You couldn't get it. But there was a dodgy place in Manchester in the Coliseum. They used to sell. I used to get on Hong Kong cinema from there, so where you couldn't get like Drunken Master 2, I could get it from this guy. But he also had all these this little back thing. You go to him and goes like, "Have you got anything nasty?" And I'd heard about Evil Dead. It was,
have you got any nasty?
Yeah, anything nasty? And he'd come out with some like sometimes awful films. Like, well, I remember like Evil Dead Trap and things like that. But I knew about Evil Dead. It had been talked about because I bought all the like gore magazines. Was it a magazine called Gore or something like that?
Fangoria?
Might have been that.
Fangoria, man.
It was all about horror films, and they talk about Evil Dead, and you couldn't find it anywhere. So I got it from him on like a dodgy video copy, and I brought it back and watched it and loved it. The original, the very first one, I thought it was exactly what I wanted, And I we're going to talk about all three films, obviously, but
and more maybe.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And the series Ash versus Evil Dead, which is brilliant. Love that.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
really, really good. But yeah, I've got like I like all three films, and I know everyone talks about Evil Dead 2 being like amazing, one of the best films ever made, and all that. But to me, the first one is the special one for me.
That's it. It hit the sweet spot in terms of cabin in the woods fantasy horror. I mean, that's kind of that's it. It did everything and more. I mean, it every step of the way there was an envelope being pushed, which is a weird expression, but I think it's breaking new grounds in every step.
It really is, and they were just students at the time, weren't they? Weren't Sam Raimi a student at the time when he was making Evil Dead?
He was when he was making the short film that he made before that.
Short film,
yeah.
Well, that
something in the woods. It's like going into. It's like, I think it was just a stroll in the woods, maybe. I don't know. But Bruce Campbell was a producer as well. So and it was, it's hard to watch it on VHS. That's scrambled screen. There isn't an actual real copy that's available unless it's on a Blu-ray special edition of Evil Dead somewhere. Because I haven't actually looked for it, but yeah, I watched it on YouTube, and it's grainy but it packs a punch. There is still a lot of.
Well, I have the Blu-ray. I've got the Blu-ray with all three films.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's just the only bit that's cut out is the nasty tree bit.
They cut that out now.
Yeah. It's almost the version I've got. The first version I had, that the grainy VHS, that part's in it, but it's not in the.
It's weird, isn't it? Because that scene, Sam Raimi has already said that he's not proud of it. It was a teenage fantasy that just he couldn't let go, and he just had to do it. Yeah,
it was the kids. They were kids making a film, trying to make it as extreme as they possibly could, and you can understand that.
Exactly.
But it's not. There's no reason for it, really.
In the whole, it could easily have just been something that you didn't have to see. It was. But there have been horror movies since then that have done just the same thing. With aliens penetrating in all kinds of different ways, and it's it's almost as if it's become a trope that somebody out there has to try every so often, and it's like, no, it's not. That's not what horror is. That's the suburban film. That's not what we're here for.
But in the remake, they do it in the remake.
They did, but
which is nastier because the tree trunk was thicker. We'll get to that anyway. We'll get to that,
definitely. But weirdly enough, I didn't actually see it as being as horrific. But then, once you've had a palette, once you've had a banquet of all these different horror films, not a lot kind of affects you as much as it did when you first watched them. So Evil Dead, especially, I can just put it on in the middle of the day. It's easy. I can put it on in the middle of the night. It's just enjoyable to watch. And why is that? why is it so easy to watch, and yet so many gory films? It's like, no, I'm not going to watch that on my own.
I guess it's because it is fantasy, isn't it? It's not as, even though these nasty things are happening to these people, but it's not realistic. It's not. It's like, yeah,
It's too extreme to be body shock.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone talks about this, but the only bit that makes me go, oh, is the pencil in the ankle. That's the only part that makes me cringe a little bit, because that would be horrible. But the other things are just so far out there. You think, all right,
exactly. I mean, there's a scene in Payback where they're are they chopping digits off Mel Gibson's feet? I think they're chopping his toes off. I mean, and that is like, no, just but seeing somebody's arm being pulled off out of its socket is so unreal, so crazily unreal that it just looks comical when it happens.
Yeah, so much so. I remember watching an episode of Ren and Stimpy where they go to a gym, and this big cake, he's got one of those chest press, and he's like, and then both his arms just rip off, and it was like, that's a kid's cartoon. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. How did that get past the censors? My gosh.
It wouldn't now, would it? But I mean, like back in the 90s.
I mean, Looney Tunes must have had some similar things, but they always just dented faces, and if an anvil landed on somebody, it would just flatten them. There'd be no, it's totally different because, also it's just comedy, and Bruce Campbell was an amazing choice for casting in that. It just so happens that he and Sam Raimi were school friends to begin with, best buddies.
Yeah,
but you can't imagine anybody else in the role of Ash.
No, definitely not. I mean, it's him, isn't it? Absolutely, it's just all him.
It's just all him, and Bruce Campbell. He's got that quality that he could easily come out as looking like an asshole. He could so easily have actually just switched into the wrong kind of mode, and he would have been unlikable. But he's always likable. No matter what he does, he's always likable and welcome. He's comfortable to be around.
He's absolutely anti-hero. Not as much in the first one. In the first one, he's just trying to get through the night, isn't he?
He is.
When you go to Evil Dead 2 and 3, he turns into this anti-hero, bit of an arsehole, wisecracking guy, but
exactly
all the time,
yeah. And again, through the series, I mean, the TV series that followed, he's literally just lived. I mean, he's living this character as though he's just had enough, and he knows what he's doing. Everybody, get him out of the way. I'm handling this.
Yeah.
And he comes across as not being like, oh, I know everything about this, but he just bursts in, and it's the actions speak louder than his words, and I think that's kind of how he, so he never actually says, "I'm an asshole, get out of my way." He just does it.
Yeah, well, he's a bit like, especially in the TV series again. He's a bit of an idiot, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's sort of fumbling his way through life, and he just happens to be all mixed up with the Deadites and everything. But he's just,
and I think that just shows that sometimes age doesn't necessarily equal experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of that could have just been his covering for age. That's not everybody's going to be sharp as a tack, no matter what. I mean, he might be anti-hero, but
I mean, because he's in his 40s, 50s, and he's still just working in that convenience store. Is he a manager? I don't think he's even a manager, is he? He's just like a shop assistant.
Just an assistant, and that's
living in a trailer.
So
not really got.
He's humbled, and yet drifter humbled.
Drifter humbled.
Humble drifter. And it is a perfectly beautifully executed. I mean, the first films, the three films, it's sophisticated juvenilia of horror, where it is almost juvenile, some of the stuff that they come up with, but it's sophisticated. It's on a level above anything that can be done by parody or done by Adam Sandler. Alan Sandler.
Alan Sandler, yeah. His brother
Alan.
Yeah, brother Alan.
Yeah.
But there's obviously that slapstick quality to it, which is brilliant. You know.
Yeah, there is, and there's more of that in number 2 than there is in the first one, of course.
Well, the first one really is it's a straight up horror film.
Yeah, straight
isn't
up.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Deadites are having a good old time in it. They're quite funny and they're having a laugh, tormenting people. But it's the second one where it becomes more straight up comedy.
Yeah, that's it.
With horrific gore, you know. But the first one, I think, was an attempt to. By all accounts, it was hellish to me, wasn't it? Like that cabin was boiling hot, and all the blood and all the stuff they were using. Apparently, it was horrible to film.
It was horrible to film, yeah, and because it actually was a cabin in the woods, it wasn't there were still set pieces that they needed to build afterwards, of course, but majority of it was all shot there on location. It was filled with cow dung, pig dung, or whatever dung you can find that animals leave behind.
Because some of the crew members, 13 crew members actually stayed there, didn't they?
They stayed overnight to watch over the equipment because they didn't want anything to get stolen.
Yeah.
I mean, people knew they were out there, and they didn't want to take any chances. So they took it in shifts. Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there was no like plumbing there, so none of they went days without being able to have a shower or anything.
That's it. And yeah, I don't know how much of that could, they probably went days without a shower and then had a big luxury spa and then came back. I can imagine it's not completely end-to-end filth. But when they're actually in the cabin, it would just be, as soon as they walk in, they'd be caked in it anyway. So, yeah.
But what a film.
What a film.
So was this the original Cabin in the Woods film?
Yeah, I mean, Last House on the Left was basically just out open brush. That was just, there was no cabin there. There was a cabin in the woods. Yeah, I think this was the original.
This was the start of it, wasn't it?
True. Yeah, there may have been cabins in woods before where the location is there, but the idea of the cabin being this bubble entity that keeps you there. This was the first, because and that can leave. You just look out and go, "Oh, I don't like this. I'm going home." And but with Evil Dead, there is no escaping. You're there. You're stuck. There's no way you're going to cross over that bridge because it's gone.
Yeah, the woods. I assume the woods ripped the bridge apart.
I would assume that the actual woods were the bridge. That the actual Deadites were the bridge, and they. That's how they knew somebody was coming. It's like an early warning signal.
So for anyone who's never watched this film, and probably would do, so some friends go on a holiday to a cabin in the woods. They're having a nice time, a few drinks.
Yeah, Shelley, Linda, Scott, and of course Bruce. Ash.
Yeah, and then that latch opens, doesn't it? They're all just having a chat, and then that latch just opens.
That's it. It's
on the floor. Like what? And so common sense glands removed straight away because they all go, "Oh, that latch just opened by itself. I'm going to go down there and have a look."
And because it's Evil Dead, what else? What else can you do? You go down there, you have a look, you do a little bit of a jump scare, you pretend that you be really quiet, scare the girls,
Yeah.
And then of course, look what we found.
Yeah. Let's play this tape.
Yeah, which wasn't that much. I mean, to be honest, in the original Evil Dead, there wasn't that much down there to really be freaked out about. Of course, in the remake, they just take it to the extreme.
Because it's hell down there, yeah.
It's like, we want that. I mean, just make it look like an ordinary basement. That's all you need to do. Make it look as ordinary or as innocent as possible.
Well, exactly. When we talked about The Exorcist, one part that makes The Exorcist really scary, it's just a house that could be your neighbour.
Exactly.
And all this horrors going on in there, but you're not aware of it. Anyone walking past the house, no idea.
They had to walk around the attic just that once. They just had to have that little walk around.
Oh yeah, with it.
And that's it, because that's just an attic. Attics are always a fun little segue to kind of get the tension building.
Yeah.
And of course, the basement is exactly the same. You know, there's a basement. Let's go down there. Let's get that tension moving. Let's get that feeling, you know, of dread. But that tape is amazing. I mean, yeah, the tape itself playing. I mean, they could have had any voice on there.
Genuinely.
One of the earlier shows I mentioned, we don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Oh, I lost you for a second.
Yeah, sorry. I think there might have been a slight power cut because all the house alarms have just gone off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it seems to be okay.
Come back to us, Andy.
Join us.
Join
us.
Groovy.
Just prior to do that, there's a really cool scene where I forget her name now, the actress' name, but she's on the bed and she's drawing, and then her hand gets taken over, and she draws the book, doesn't she? But in like really nasty, crude fashion.
Yeah.
That's a really cool scene. Like she's suddenly taking over. You know, I really like that part.
Yeah.
It's when the clock's ticking, tick, tock, tick, and then it just stops, and then she just draws that thing, doesn't she?
It's wonderful. I mean, that's what we like about it. It's the creativity of you know, of having that, you know, just moments of possession. They did a similar thing in The Changeling, where they've got the psychic writing messages on paper. And if you ever get to watch that film, that is a really incredible film, a very underrated one. But yeah, the scribbling of stuff, it's usually with children as well. It's usually the children who do the creepy drawings.
Yeah.
You know, when
a child does it.
Or if you're watching, was it Pieces? It's pornographic jigsaws.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know, every kid is different.
Yeah, you know, you've got to encourage the creativity of the kids.
Do. And just don't leave the axe so close to the children's bedroom. But yeah, there's no children in this one though. There are no children in this.
No, just some friends. You know, it's interesting, 2 couples, isn't it? And then just one spare wheel, a poor girl.
Yeah,
she just comes on her own.
Because it's funny because
it's Shelley, isn't it?
You kind of,
it's just of Ash, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's Cheryl, Linda and Ash. It's Scotty and Cheryl, and Shelley is the third wheel.
Yeah, Shelley, who's Ash's sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is an unusual thing as well. You know, he took her there because he was feeling sorry for her because she didn't have anything else to do. So he just, you know, that's what brothers are for. Luring you to a cabin.
Come on. Yeah. So obviously she's freaked out. She decides she's leaving. Oh no! What? How does she end up in the woods?
It's weird.
Does she decide she's leaving to walk, or
no matter?
No, she hears.
Yeah. Sorry.
She hears talking. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so she goes out to investigate it, and next thing you know, she's miles away from the cabin, and she's got to run back, hasn't she?
Yeah, she doesn't know where she's going, and that's it. She basically encounters that tree from hell. Yeah,
the horny tree.
Horny tree, which becomes the 6th student kid in the, you know.
Yeah.
The 6th character. So yeah, and even though it's that scene was kind of really wrong, that there was hardly any nudity in this. Really, it wasn't really built around the idea of let's have your knockers out in this scene, and let's be really crude and show your butt in this scene.
And the boobs are out a little bit. Yeah.
Like you say, you know, how did Shelley go out into the woods again? Oh,
yeah. I think she'd heard voices, didn't she? And she goes out because obviously they played the tape, she gets really freaked out by the tape and tells him to turn it off.
Yeah.
But obviously playing the tape has awakened the
Cantarians. Yeah.
Cantarian demons, yeah. And literally all hell breaks loose.
Kandarian,
that's it.
I think Cantarian may have been one of those aliens in Star Trek that Captain Kirk made love to.
Yeah, Cantarian is an evil head.
Yeah, Shatner's head.
Yeah,
Shatner's head. But yeah, the Kandarians, which I'm surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if fans have actually kind of created a big mythology online somewhere where you can actually look up every single detail of the Necronomicon and what everything means. Somebody must have deconstructed that book.
A Kandarian is a character in World of Warcraft, apparently.
Oh, right.
Can't find anything else about Kandarian, though.
Ooh. It says it on the...
Oh, it's spelled with a K, not a C.
Oh, with a K, yep. Like Kardashian.
Like Kardashian, yeah. Yeah. Lots of plastic surgery.
Oh, there will be soon. Oh, you wait for those. Yeah. Wait for that. But yeah, I think when I watched Evil Dead, I was already kind of swimming in my my horror genre of especially comedy horror. I mean, the comedy in this. I mean, I'm a huge fan of American Werewolf in London, and no matter what, the comedy kind of just sits so well because it's not telling jokes. It's not standing there telling jokes. It's just being funny.
Yeah. And I mean, like, the Deadites are having a ball torturing and tormenting the humans. And they're having a great old time.
And that's
the humans
it is a party. It is a party. That's all it is. It's just, it's no different than when we have a party and we're biting the heads off kebab sticks. It's just, we are the kebab sticks of the story. We're the shish kebabs of this, and that's it. We're just hors d'oeuvres. We're always buffet table.
When Shelley first gets possessed, and it's when they're reading the cards, and she's pretending to be able to guess what the cards are. It's like, oh yeah, you're getting them right, yeah. And then it's like, I can't remember the card, like Jack of clubs, whatever, Jack of spades, Jack of clubs, and she turns around, and then she's like, her head's doing that weird thing, and that voice comes out, why have you awakened us from our slumber? What always made me laugh is afterwards, like, what's wrong with her eyes? Can you see her eyes? Did you see her eyes? What was wrong with her eyes? No one mentioned the fact that she was actually levitating 2 feet from the ground. Just talk about her eyes.
Yeah, you got a bit of a thing going on with what's with is it conjunctivitis maybe? She might have.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried. Like, I think we need to get some drops for her eyes. I'm like, she was literally levitating.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah. Let's bury the lead on that one. But that's the thing. In a moment of terror, do you focus on the things that you can control or understand? I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Levitating it's not something you see every day.
Not really. No. Well, I do, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see levitating all the time.
Yeah. That's you live in Yorkshire.
Yeah, we all levitate around here. But the levels of gore are ridiculous.
Yeah, they went through a lot. I mean, they weren't exactly going to be able to come back and do pickups after they've finished. Clearly, so if anything, they'd have to do any other shots anywhere else, basically. Anywhere but that cabin. And I tell you what, if I owned that cabin and they were just using it to make a film, I wouldn't want to clean it up after them. Gosh, the amount of, nitroglycerin, glue, all that latex, all that. But the special effects were really incredible. I know it's all practical. All of it's practical.
All practical, yeah.
Most of it's decided on the spot. How are we going to do this? What do we do? Well, don't worry about Bruce. He bruises easily, and it's not a problem. Bruce Campbell will just do anything. Just throw it at him.
I think everyone got injured at some point too. I remember my brother Don fell off a cliff. During when we were scouting or shooting somewhere.
Because you sent me to Kmart. We had no sleep, and I was at Kmart saying, I need 16 6x4 2x plywood boards. And I barely got the strength to buy them and haul them onto the car and strap them up and drive them back.
Well, let me tell you, that movie gave me a Vietnam-like resonance in my life. I went back home to Michigan. I slept on the floor of my room. There was a beautiful, comfortable bed. I slept on the floor of my bed for probably 2 months. And my mother was like, quick question, Bruce, why are you sleeping on the floor? And I started growing a beard, just some strange thing. I went feral when I went home. And I went, well, that's how we would have done it in Tennessee.
I know that experience messed me up, too. I couldn't even speak about the horrors of the experience for weeks. I couldn't really tell anyone I've never been able to really tell anyone the depth of the hardness of that experience, the levels of exhaustion.
Yeah, bringing in heinous things to film it, anywhere from Madagascar cockroaches that would hiss at you. There were little snakes, little garden snakes, just creamed corn. I mean, just all kinds of things going in and out of that basement.
Yeah. And that's the joy of Evil Dead. That's it. It's right there.
Yeah. And I can't believe we've not talked about the famous camera move. The camera running through the woods.
Well, it's funny because, it's no matter what the Evil Dead film, I mean, I was watching the remakes and they were trying to do the same thing again.
Yeah.
And it's like, we know it's a drone. And then, of course, they say, okay, you guys know that we're going to be using a drone. So guess what? It's a drone.
Well, I like that. I like that about Evil Dead Rise.
They subverted it. Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Not as much the first remake, the 2013 one. I want to say 2013. I'm not as much a fan of that one. I prefer the Evil Dead Rise. I actually quite enjoyed it.
But racing that Steadicam through the cabin, around the woods, through the branches, that in the original film, and of course in the sequels, they pretty much do the same thing. But.
And it's just a camera put onto a plank of wood, and then they run through the woods.
That's it. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. Just guerrilla filmmaking, isn't it?
Yeah, and I do miss guerrilla filmmaking. I think everybody's trying the best to make everything too clean these days. But, they've got this be a little bit rough around the edges. I think I haven't seen anything since Monsters that had a little bit of grit and roughness to it.
True. That's very true.
So what are we doing, Andy? We've done our short for CAC03. We need to do the big movie.
We do. We need to get
big CAC03 movie.
We do. No, we do.
How do we do it, Andy? How?
I don't know. You moved away, you bugger.
I know.
And then I moved to Yorkshire.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like, whoa, yeah, it's so hell. But when you actually have a college friend who you can just work on film together, I mean that is lucky as hell. I mean it's you can't always get that. You can't always get that, and geography has a lot to do with it. But Sam Raimi went in his own direction as well after that. So
he did, yeah.
Yeah, it's not as if they were tied together. Otherwise, we would have seen Bruce Campbell being Spider-Man, and that would have been strange or funny.
It would have been strange, but he still turns up in all the films, doesn't he? He always has a little cameo in all these films. He plays like a French restaurant owner in one of the Spider-Man films, and that he always turns.
I know who, Flying Dutchman.
Can I help you? Name, please?
Parker, Peter.
Here we are. Table for two. Becker.
Come to see the show.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. No one will be seated after the doors are closed.
Parker.
That is what I said. Becker.
So he is there. I lied.
He's there.
He's always there.
Yeah, he's omnipresent, like God.
That's it. He is. That's it. So the sequel came out quite a few years after.
So Evil Dead ends, doesn't it? Where he's got out, and he's the only one who survived. Everyone else is dead. He's bloody chopped his girlfriend up into bits, and all hell. And he survives the morning, and you think he's done. And then all of a sudden, this camera, the Steadicam camera onto a plank of wood, just sort of comes out from behind a bush and just races through the woods, through the cabin. The cabin's a lot smaller. It just kind of goes straight through the cabin, knocks the door down, and attacks Bruce, and that's how it ends. And that really cheery song starts, doesn't it? It's like a bit of a swing jazz number starts, and the credits roll.
And that's exactly how you should end it.
Starts right there, doesn't it? Kind of. But then it's kind of a remake of the first one again, sort of.
It is. It's almost like it's an alternate dimension.
Yeah.
It's like Ash. Okay, you've lived through this. Now you're gonna live through it again, but in a different way.
Yeah.
But you're going to be omni-aware of every reality that you're experiencing, and I think that's what the Deadites do. They really put a spin on his reality, and that's clever. Instead of just carrying on, having Ash waking up in a hospital and going, "I've got to get back to that cabin. I've got to get back to that cabin."
Yeah, all my friends died, but maybe they're not dead. Let's go back.
Let's go back. Yes, let's put an end to this.
Yes. let's get Sigourney Weaver. We'll call it Evil Deads.
Evil Deads. Yes. Yeah.
The military.
Yeah. Let's bring in the Marines. Let's bring in. Yeah. That would be the James Cameron version of Evil Dead 2. That would have been interesting if they actually had a whole military thing going on. I mean, they never did.
It wouldn't work.
It wouldn't.
I'm glad they did. Yeah. I'm glad they did. So, what do you think of Evil Dead 2? Like Dead by Dawn.
Dead by Dawn, but it was incredible, and his shirt was blue the whole time. It didn't really get stained that much. It was,
Yeah.
Very blue. That's all I when I think of Ash, I just think of blue shirt. But the whole beating himself up with the evil hand. The evil hand was just incredible. I mean, imagine that your hand is possessed and it's beating you up, and the only thing you can do is cut it off.
Well, it gets infected, doesn't it? He has to cut it off before it spreads up his arm.
You can feel it. Yeah.
There's a nice little bit of stop motion, isn't it, where it just starts to creep up his arm. So you think. So obviously, the first time we have the chainsaw, straight into the tool shed, chainsaw, lobs his arm off.
And I think it's that moment that he becomes not Ash the mortal, it's Ash the anti-hero. He becomes a comic book character then. He becomes Sin City kind of esque sense of if you do that, you're going to be bleeding out, you're going to die. But not Ash.
No.
Not
Ash. And he becomes a lot more wisecracking in this one, isn't he? He's got his zingers, these lights and stuff.
Which I think, Sam and Bruce obviously both thought, we should have done that, we should have done this, and the thing is, in whenever we make a film, we always think, we should have done that, we should have done, should is such a funny word, right, Andy? So it's a shocking word because let's do it. Why not? Let's do it. And that's exactly what Evil Dead 2. It was kind of like a big canvas for them to kind of do all the things that they wished they could have done with the first one, and more. Yeah,
and this is 6 years later. There's 6 years difference because the Evil Dead, I think, was 1981. This was 1987.
That's it. There's a long period of time, and Ash really looks pretty much the same.
He does look the same, yeah. He does. Do you know how it got made? Do you know how Evil Dead 2 got made?
Tell me.
Stephen King was such a massive fan of the original. He convinced, I think it's Dino De Laurentiis or something like
Dino
that.
De Laurentiis, yeah.
That's he produced Maximum Overdrive in 1986, which is actually a Stephen King book. To finance Evil Dead 2, and that's how we got made.
Yeah, it got financed, but because Dino De Laurentiis wasn't really a horror, he didn't really work with horror as a genre for his production company. They had to make their own production company up just to kind of promote it.
Because I suppose Max Drive is kind of a horror film, wasn't it?
It is, yes.
Not like horror, but
But I think because of what Evil Dead represented and how much of that, to actually have Evil Dead 2 on your ticket, I think he was a little wary. So he made them create a production company. And what was that called again? Man looking at phone. It was Rosebud Releasing. It was a Rosebud release, and they basically Sam Raimi got a guy who was an animator, said, "Just animate this, do an animation. We need to have something at the beginning of the film that isn't Dino De Laurenti, just so that it can be separated from his his namesake was in there, but the actual releasing of it wasn't on his label."
Right. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
There you go.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. But he didn't need to worry. He didn't need to worry because
it's pretty good film, isn't it?
It is. And again, you kind of have to keep revisiting it to remember everything that goes on, because these films are filled. They are packed.
Yeah.
They're, we complain about films being fast-paced now and too much going on and you don't have time to think. Well, this was really the way it was done right,
Mm. Yeah. I mean, but it works so well having the ridiculous amount of gore mixed in with that humor. Like you just said, when he's having a fight with his hand, it's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
And it's even the childlike thing when someone tries to poke you in the eye and you put your hand so they can't get the fingers on it. They even do that. It's such an infantile, ridiculous thing.
Sophisticated
but it's all
juvenilia. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's a really good term. Did you coin that or someone else?
Somebody else coined that. I can't take credit for that.
Take credit for it anyway. And but yeah, it's so brilliant. And
that's it.
This one, he goes to the cabin with his girlfriend, doesn't he? It's not like a big team of friends. His girlfriend gets possessed.
It is just a romantic getaway one.
Yeah, because remember, a journalist turns up who's studying the book.
That's it.
And then him and the journalist end up having to battle through the night.
That's it. That's exactly what happens. And, so because they needed to have more characters coming in, but not necessarily the friends.
Yeah.
Who may or may not be already there in that reality or in that circumstance or in that instance. Just to throw out the title of my book, which also has Evil Dead in chapter 1.
Yes.
But yeah, in that moment, they were either there or not. That's the confusing part. Did it all happen? Did the events in number 1 happen? Did the events in number 2 happen?
Yeah.
But
is that the implication then? Because obviously by the end of this one, he literally goes into an alternate dimension, doesn't he?
He does. He goes through the window and the portal of the window, and that's it. He wakes up somewhere else.
Medieval Britain, is it?
1300s, yeah. But then it also gets confusing again because he's still working at that store.
Yeah.
And Bridget Fonda is there.
But I suppose continuity between the stories is not what they're worried about, is it?
It's not. And it never, and it, we don't sit here going, well, that was stupid, that was dumb. We don't, because it's just, it really gets a pass no matter what it does. And Army of Darkness was such a risk.
Yeah.
Follow on. I mean,
and also because the first 2 films are so gory and they're clearly 18, where Army of Darkness is a 15. It's got gore in it, but it's not really about that now. There's Deadites in it.
Yeah, it's more Clash of the Titans. It's more it's Sinbad, the Eye of the Tiger. Yeah. It doesn't seem to fit in with the typical horror genre.
And he literally has a stop motion fight with a load of skeletons in it, doesn't he?
It does, yeah. Yeah, Clash of the Titans. I'm pretty sure that was that one. Or Jason and the Argonauts. One of those two.
Yeah, but I'm saying Ash has a fight with some skeletons, doesn't he? It's like a stop motion.
That's exactly what he does. Yeah, he does. He has, and they're also wielding swords, and it's also. I mean, there's got to be some sort of reference for that. The reason why.
1992. I just want to see what year Evil Dead.
What year? Yeah, 1992.
Bloody hell.
But nobody expected that. Nobody who watched the first two films could have expected Army of Darkness to be a follow-up. And it just, I mean, it's like when we were talking about Die Hard and how when they get to 3, it kind of gets a bit tired because they're doing pretty much the same thing but in a different city, but they kind of like ruin the whole dynamic of what Bruce McClane was. That was the beginning of the ruination of John McClane.
Yeah.
This
not like Bruce McClane was his brother as well.
Bruce McClane.
He called him Bruce McClane.
Did I call him Bruce McClane? Oh,
Bruce McClane was one of the extras in Evil Dead 3.
Oh, yeah.
Army of Darkness. And it actually isn't called Evil Dead 3, is it? It's just called Army of Darkness. It just is Evil Dead 3.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure John Carpenter brought out Prince of Darkness not that far around at that time as well, wasn't it? Prince of Darkness?
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Yeah, about 89, 90 maybe. It's probably about 5 years difference, probably, knowing me. But yeah, I mean, Army of Darkness, what does that sound like to you?
An army in the nighttime?
You're thinking Deadites at night, but but the medieval times. It's like who could have thought? Who could have thought that would have worked?
What sort of works really well about it though is because Ash is a bit of a loser. He's working in that convenience store. He's not making any money. He's got a girlfriend, but he's got really nothing going for him. But once he gets sucked into medieval time, all of a sudden, he's the king. He even says, "Hail to the king, baby," doesn't he?
Hail to the king, baby.
He comes down with his car's there. So all of a sudden, from zero to hero, literally. So,
is this just a fantasy for him? Is this his fantasy?
Wow, could be.
I mean, every loser wants to be a winner, right? And it doesn't just get handed to you. I mean, that's not what movies tell you. Movies don't say, that's it, you're a winner. There always has to be adversity, and of course, well, he goes through a lot of adversity. Is this what he earned? To be honored, but then realizing that he really didn't want that to begin with. That this isn't what he's too humbled to accept it in the end. Otherwise, he would have stayed there.
Yeah. He could have stayed there.
Could have.
Yeah.
Really. Because Bridget Fonda was waiting for him. That's why.
He's not worried about changing the course of history, is he? Because he literally shoots King Arthur's sword in half when he gets there.
Yeah.
He's not worried about the space-time continuum.
And again, yeah, space-time continuum be damned, but then reality be damned, because isn't he in the middle of the United States of America? What's King Arthur doing there? And this is the American mind thinking that everything that's happened in history happened here.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
There is kind of a mindset where it thinks, oh yeah, well, Robin Hood he's going to have an American accent. It's Nottingham. Oh yeah, we can have our own Nottingham. But King Arthur, it's our stuff, baby. We didn't send Bruce Campbell over to England.
No, but was that not the implication though? He's just sucked through that wormhole into medieval England.
Yeah,
or is he still in America?
Oh, yeah, but the setting and the desert and the rocks, it's all Los Angeles landscape.
Yeah,
it's definitely not British landscape.
Well, yeah, but they obviously didn't have the money to think, well, let's go and shoot all this in Britain.
Yeah, but they didn't even disguise it. So is it really King Arthur, and is it all just this deadite fantasy? Is it, what? But why King Arthur? Why the Middle Ages? Sorry, the medieval time. Why did it happen?
Why not?
The why not thing, yeah. But if I think as if Ash, if this was kind of sewn into his origin story that as a kid he always wanted to be King Arthur, if there was something kind of like a setup for this to be a payoff, then it would have made more sense. But it's like we say, it doesn't matter that it doesn't make sense because it is so much fun. It is a romp. He modifies his chainsaw to do other things, and it's it
and the pass. There is no backstory. There's no why.
There's no why.
There just is,
because movie, and that's it. It's just movie, and I couldn't be more happy with it, and it's funny.
Okay, yeah. So it's if you took that as like a trilogy of films, it's pretty perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it ends pretty well, and he's going to just be the aimless drifter at the end and accepting of his place. Reality be damned. That's it.
Yeah.
There really was nowhere else to go with that series, I don't think.
I mean, you could have always gone Evil Dead in space, and he goes to some space station somewhere. He's battling deadites on a space station somewhere, but...
There is that, Andy. There is always that possibility. But then you've also got to consider the big ultimate question that we always like to consider.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm thinking, right?
I know what you think, kid. I listened to another podcast. It's called The Weekly Planet. And they're just these two Australian nerds. And every time they talk about a film, at some point he always says, "So, Mason, what's the story?" He goes, "Oh, because you can never think of the story properly."
No,
and then he's going to do it. This is that.
Yeah, this is that. But also we can't think of the story. Sometimes we just kind of like remind each other parts of a film and like, oh yeah, and then pretend that we knew that all along. But it does make it tricky when you throw in Michael Bay. But maybe we shouldn't do it. Maybe we should try somebody else for a change. I mean, who would have taken Evil Dead off Sam Raimi's hands realistically?
I can't think of anyone who could have made these films like this other than Sam Raimi. That frantic camera work is just so Sam Raimi, and the quick shots and the weird angles.
Yeah, the quick thinking, the imagination, the complete disregard for Bruce Campbell's safety. It all makes everything in these movies so flawless. So yeah, there is no Michael Bay moment in this show.
Oh, thank you.
There just isn't. You're right. It's like George Miller. George Miller is Mad Max.
Absolutely.
Only George Miller can make Mad Max. And even that's funny. Even that has its own sense of humor, and you can go back to that and rewatch those and be reminded of new things as you go.
But then you could go, here you go, Fede Alvarez, make a remake of Evil Dead, but take all the fun out of it. Make it as nasty as you possibly can. But actually, in the remake of Evil Dead, the 2013 with I forget the actress in it, but like she's a drug addict. She's going through withdrawal. It's really grim. Even the beginning of it is absolutely horrible.
It is. I mean, the sacrifice, which is all underground, by the way, which doesn't make sense.
Which I assume is the cellar of the cabin in the woods. I assume that's where it is.
It is the basement, but the thing is, they set fire to her Fire. The fire is real. The fire wasn't supernatural fire, was it? It was real fire. They poured gas in.
Yeah, they tried to do it practically as they could in this, I think.
So, yeah, all I could think of was, okay, they haven't actually gotten out of the basement before they set fire to her. The whole place is made of wood.
Yeah.
The whole cabin is made of wood. It's all seasoned wood. It would go up, but it's like, yeah, there was a you know.
Yeah. But that's the strange thing, right? When you watch the original Evil Dead films, you don't worry about logic.
No, you don't.
It's not about that. But this film, because they tried to root it in a reality,
yes,
and make it as nasty as possible, you think about those things.
You think, yeah, exactly.
Between the quality of filmmaking, where you do think about that, and practically, like, you know, like when she gets that meat cutter and slices her tongue in half.
Yes.
By the end of the film, the tongue's fine again. And I'm like, well, she's a fucking mess. So when at the end of the film, she wouldn't be able to walk, but she makes it out.
The whole time. Yeah. It would be
like snake tongue.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine now. You worry about that.
Yeah.
It's not a bad film, though. It's not a badly made film, but there's no
skill, but there's
skill in it. Yeah, it's really well made film. The gore is absolutely really well done, and it's just, you know, it's horrible. And the tree thing is even worse because it goes up her skirt, but it's like a really thick trunk, and you know where that's gone. Even though it never comes out again. It's still up there at the end of the film. It doesn't come back out. And that's the thing in the original. You know, the tree, the branch just goes between her legs, and I guess the implication is the evil gets into her through that.
Yeah.
Well, then it goes up there and stays there. But with this, a big bloody horrible thick branch goes up there.
It becomes Clockwork Orange, concrete dildo. I mean, it is, and there was no need to kind of take it there. There was no reason to take it there. I mean, if you think about it, Demon Seed was one of those films where being impregnated by an entity or the entity, you know, those kind of films, they are rooted in that which is Australian for yeah. It's that kind of sense of reality, but then you're saying that this kind of thing is an acceptable part of this mythos again.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it doesn't need to be there. You know, that's not how the Deadites work. The Deadites possess your mind. They don't have to, you know, to do anything to you like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, having her as like an addict who's going through withdrawal is they could have done a little bit more with that, because they basically said, right, put all the Evil Dead humor to one side.
Yeah.
This is just going to be horror and grim and nasty.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so she's a recovering addict. So they could have done way more than that, where they don't, and they do sort of do it a little bit where they don't trust her because of all these things that she's saying she's seen. They say, well, she's coming off the drugs. That's what it is.
That's it.
They explored that way better than I think they did.
They don't try anything different, because either that's because it's a message thing. Everybody knows somebody who has overdosed, or, you know, and they're afraid of kind of like putting that into a context of comedy or humor, or giving them something other than just addict.
Yeah.
There's got to be so much more to a character than just addict. You know?
Yeah. Well, it is her arc, the fact that she starts this as an addict, and by the end of Murder, you know, chopping all the demons up and that, she recovered. She's not an addict anymore. She's now Deadite Killer. Deadite
Killer, and she survives, and that's it. She steps out into the sun, and the sun, almost as if the sun is saying, "You're clean. You did it. Well done." But that is, it's like, but it doesn't make you feel like, and you know,
maybe this entire film is in her head. And the killing all her friends turn into these raging monsters that she has to kill, and how she deforms herself, and then she has to kill all her friends who's turned into her. Is that all in her mind, and that's just her getting over the drugs?
That's it. I mean, that could be it. I mean, Everybody's Deadite fantasy is not going to be full of slapstick humor. It depends on the person, but it's not somebody you want to wrap a movie around.
No,
it's too heavy.
It is. And also, like a horror film, you want it to be scary. And the thing with this film, it's not scary. It's gory, but it's not scary.
Yeah, it definitely isn't scary. I mean, there's actually a jump scare in it where she's in the car and she uses her windscreen wipers. And it wasn't even a jump. It was just oh, there she is in the road. Oh, it was, rather than, They can't even do jump scares right.
You know why, don't you?
Ear the Free.
Yeah, they didn't do the Ear the Free.
They didn't do the Ear the Free. And it wasn't. It was just there she is. Oh. And that was it.
Yeah.
There was no Ear of the Three. There was, and I'm not saying that jump scares are the thing that every horror film should have, and that's.
But if you're going to do one,
if you're going to do it,
right. So what we mean by Ear of the Three is where we sort of did jump scares as a musical thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
So you've got to know what's not a good jump scare if you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. If it comes on the 1, 2, 3, and the 4, it's not funny. It's not scary because you're expecting it.
Yeah.
But in between this, you've got 8th notes and 16th notes. So a 16th note you would count as 1E and a 2E and a 3E and if it comes on the 1E and a 2E and a 3E, there, you're not expecting it, and that's when it becomes scary.
Yes.
Yeah. Just I thought a little bit of people may not understand the backstory to the Ear of the Three.
Yeah. Well, we haven't mentioned it for a long time. So yeah, that is exactly it. It's music theory, which applies so beautifully to horror theory, and that is Andy Lewin's 0.005%.
That's it, yeah.
Yes, reprised.
So expect nothing else.
That's it. It's all downhill for now. We've still got to end it. Gosh. And it is just a miserable movie. And I think all critics kind of agree on that. It doesn't hold up to the original. There's no need for it to actually be associated with the original, and then of course they decided, let's do another one.
Yeah. Well, at the end of this, if you go through all the credits, at the very end, you see the silhouetted Ash, and he just turns to the camera and says "groovy,"
and you think,
Ash, yes, great. Now we're talking. And then they obviously did this Ash versus Evil Dead, the series, which is brilliant. Bloody love it. That was my favorite thing that was on TV when it was out. I loved it.
I think it was
hilarious.
Last Man on Earth was the kind of the thing that was happening before this, and then Ash versus the Evil Dead. I mean, the characters are great. I love them to pieces. They're amazing. I mean, even Xena, Princess Warrior's in there.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, and she's great in it. She's really good.
Yeah, but it plays out really funny, and it's just half hours.
And it's pure Evil Dead. Just everything is thrown at it. There's one bit in the morgue where a Deadeye ends up shoving Ash's face into his arsehole, and Ash is wearing this arsehole Deadeye on his head, and he's trying to get it off, and he's fighting other Deadites. And it's absolutely hilarious. It's pure slapstick. It's gory as hell. It's got heart. That's what it's got.
That's it, and I think that's the likability of Bruce Campbell. It's got heart.
Yeah.
He relates, so he's so humbled with the fandom and he gives 130%, maybe 135 percent to he meets the fans, he adores the fans, and he knows what the fans want.
Yeah,
and it was exactly that, and he wasn't going to mess around and say, you know what, we're gonna subvert their expectations. We're gonna
we're not going to Twin Peaks to return it. We're going to do exactly what they want.
Yeah, that was kind of
that should be the next thing. What would David Lynch do?
What would David Lynch do? Well, to be honest, David Lynch, I don't think he would be able to do an Evil Dead movie.
No, you can't like him to an Evil Dead, but I'm just saying, like, for the next film we talk about, we maybe say, what would David Lynch do with this?
Yeah,
but,
that'd be a good one, yeah. Oh, if it's
the thing is, you can't, because it's so Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, it's like their baby.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Nothing can touch it. It's incredible. And then of course after the Ash versus the Evil Dead, which everybody should watch it, rewatch it. It's all on Netflix, available on subscription. And it's not. I want to get the actual physical copies on DVD though, but
I do. I really do.
I think it's nice to have some sort of physical thing to have on the shelf, just to have it there.
Yeah.
Evil
and then
Dead
we got
Rise.
Evil Dead Rise, which came out last year.
Yeah, it was a surprise. I was expecting something much worse. And
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's what
for what it's worth.
For what it's worth, yeah. I mean, they've sort of opened up the fact that there's lots of books of the dead. There's lots of Necronomicons. This is just another one that they found after the earthquake.
That's it.
That's what the director's saying. Is like there was a lot of these books made. It weren't just the one that Ash finds. There's quite a few of these books that have been made, and this is one of them.
If Ash can move to the medieval England, then maybe the book can travel itself as well. Maybe the book is the
filmmakers have said it's a different book.
They said it's a different book.
Yeah, it's definitely a different book. Yeah.
Okay, so they're probably just building on their own mythos then, and saying that the things that are in the Ash's book might be different, or is it just the same?
Yeah, it's a different book. It's different writing. I don't know.
It's got pictures by it's got a little forward by A.A. Milne.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's
illustrated by Roald Dahl, whoever did Quentin Blake. That's it. Illustrated by Quentin Blake.
You should see the book.
Yeah, it's now been distributed by Disney. That's the book. Yeah, distributed by Disney.
Financed by Jeff Bezos.
And also glorified by Lady Gaga, and there is a fluffy version of the book as well. If you want to get that in the Disney store.
That meat dress she wore for that thing that was literally the disembodied parts of some deadite that she wore.
It's Pieces, which. I referenced Pieces earlier about the little boy doing the pornographic jigsaw, but Pieces is kind of a very much a Chainsaw Massacre kind of a film. Have you seen that one?
I've not seen Pieces, no.
1982. It's on the YouTube, in fact. Well, it's a very underrated horror film, but it's it's basically the killer is making a full bodysuit of a person by chopping pieces off them, and he's obsessed with completing this jigsaw that his mother wouldn't let him have. And it's kind of a weird one. It's kind of very Dario Argento but it's an American movie, and it reminded me a lot of Evil Dead. I guess because Chainsaw and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's another one of those. But yeah, sorry, I digress. Back to Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, again, it's a good film. It's all right, and it brings back a little bit more of the humour. The Deadites have the humour.
Yeah.
They're having a good old time, murdering and doing the thing, and they enjoy it. They like torturing humans, and
the shocks are real, and the scares are real, and there's also a little girl in it who needs help getting through this.
Yeah, there was also a little child that turns into a Deadite.
Yeah.
And they went there.
They did. I mean, and it could be argued that since The Exorcist, there have been 1,000 girls who've been possessed by something demonic. And
we have that you brought up when we talked about Evil Dead. There's no kids in it, so maybe that's what we thought. Is that the one thing no one's ever done with an Evil Dead film is a child.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
So let's go for it. Yeah. Let's bring that in. They kind of did that. I mean, that could have been a little girl in the Evil Dead remake who got burned at the stake. Could have really gone innocent on that father, and completely wreck him beyond belief because it would have been a 5-year-old screaming for her life. I mean, but they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. They didn't go that far.
Too much.
Yeah.
That was one bit where she's like, "Please, Daddy, please. I'll swallow your soul, Daddy," but she says it in her own voice.
Says it in her own voice, and
that's
then
quite creepy. That's creepy. I'll give him that. That's that bit of the film I thought, that's a bit creepy. Yeah. But then she goes all, asshole, and then, all right, okay.
And then they took it away. They should have just kept it.
Just that. I'll swallow your soul, Daddy, in her own voice. That's creepy.
And then burn her. And then leave it to you, the viewer, to decide, are they crazy, or was that, what did did they hear what she said?
Yeah, I mean, that's not a right thing to say for a child, but she said all right. She looks good. All these people around. Yeah. He didn't, so we don't have to worry about that.
No. So what's next for the Evil Dead, do you think?
There's got to be another one.
Bruce Campbell's leaving well alone now, right?
I think so. He produces them, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He produces the films, and I think him and Raimi are still involved in where the story goes.
They're allowing it to happen. They're just allowing it to evolve.
I think sent it. No, this director, he'd done a shorter, he'd done something else, and I think Sam Raimi asked him to come in and say, we've got an idea. Pitch me an Evil Dead film. I like what you did with that. Pitch me an Evil Dead film. I think that's what happened. So I think I think Evil Dead films will still always be a thing, but I doubt Sam Raimi's going to be making any more.
That'll be it, yes. Well, there we go.
Yeah. Future of Evil Dead. Bruce Campbell confirms that there are plans for more Evil Dead movies in the future following the success of Evil Dead Rise. The filmmakers are given creative freedom to decide the tone and direction of each installment, whether it's straight horror or a brighter tone full like Evil Dead 2. So I think what they're doing now is just going to up-and-coming directors and say, pitch me an Evil Dead film. If they like it, they'll get finance for it and get it made. Yeah. And they'll just keep Evil Dead films coming out, and they'll be slightly different. Some might be horrific, some might be funny, some might be that. Whatever gets made.
Yeah. And hopefully it won't just be another Evil Dead in another location, dark and grisly, but think about what it is. Think about what the Evil Dead really is. I mean, it's not of this world. It's not of this reality.
Yeah.
The universe is your oyster with these movies. You could do anything, and that's probably there's too much freedom with them, which makes it, you don't want to go Freddy Krueger when it becomes too much freedom is not a good thing.
Yeah.
You got to kind of ground it somewhere along the line, but you don't have to ground it in exactly the same spots. Yeah,
I mean, like, freedom is great when you're Sam Raimi.
Yes.
But when you're not as talented as Sam Raimi, but you're still a very good director who's got vision, but do whatever you want. I mean, could you imagine Quentin Tarantino making an Evil Dead film?
No, but I think Max Landis would probably love to do it.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I wouldn't want to watch that. I'm not really a fan of his, but I can. These are the people who I can imagine. Eli Roth.
Oh no! Get away.
That's what I mean. These are the people who would have enough ego to think that they can take it on, and I think I would be very concerned about taking it on. I mean, if someone came to me and says, come up with an Evil Dead story, I'd be like, how do you do that? How,
Maybe this week we should both think of an idea of an Evil Dead film, and before we talk about what we're going to talk about next week, we pitch ourselves an Evil Dead film.
Do you want to take that assignment?
Yes.
I do too.
Yeah, let's do it.
Working on an original premise that doesn't tie in with anything that we've thought about before.
Listeners, I have never seen Stephen look as animated as he does right now. His eyes have gone huge.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm excited. That is a really. I mean, I like it when you throw a challenge out at the 11th hour. I think that's a really good part of this podcast now. I think that's going to have to be. That'll replace the Michael Bay crap that we keep on.
Yeah, I do like. I think we should bring that back, though. I do like doing the Michael Bay thing every now and again.
Little thing, every so often, Yeah. So there we go, Andy. Wrapped up Evil Dead. If you haven't seen it, then what are you doing? What are you doing with your life?
Yeah. And just as a last thought, I like what they're doing with it now. Like, really, they were straight out of college. He'd done a short, hadn't he? And this was his first big film.
That's it.
And now, I think I think Sam Raimi is keeping an eye out for like people who've released shorts on YouTube and thought that's good, and then contacted him and say, right, pitch me an Evil Dead film. Someone we've not seen.
Kind of is it Jennifer Kent who did Babadook? Kind of a situation, where it's short film. Yes, that worked. Go make that film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Instead of
looking for.
Let's make that film. Right. That's a really good short. I like it's something I've not seen before. I like that. Pitch me an Evil Dead film and we'll get it made if I like it. I like that. And he's helping upcoming filmmakers make films.
There's a challenge. Challenge accepted.
I have just had an idea, so I'm going to write down to get it.
Oh, you just had an idea?
Yeah, Evil Dead idea.
Oh, yeah. Type it up. Right. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. Andy, thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
For your
pleasure.
time. And,
all right, buddy.
We're ending this, Andy. This is it, the big ending.
Are you ready?
Don't fluff it up. Okay.
I won't.
Thanks a lot, people. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
I'll swallow your soul.
Why won't it stop? Why won't it stop?
I feel the need for speed. Ow! Charlie, don't surf!
This is fantasy.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Quit griping.
I like griping.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.